Happy Thursday, Keith Tebow with you today. Time for our weekly conversation with the mayor of the city of Fall River, Mayor Paul Coogan. Mayor, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Keith.
Thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it. Yesterday we had the opportunity to visit the city's regional vaccination site that's located at Bristol Community College. And, in speaking with some seniors there and also some of the workers there, things seem to be going extremely well in terms of how it's organized. Anyone seemed to be happy about it. I guess the only thing we need, is a few more vaccinations to get more people in, right?
And we need a lot more vaccinations. After I left there, I had a conversation with the Lieutenant Governor again. We need a bunch of vaccinations in Fall River. Yesterday, they're giving us like 400 and 450 a week, and we need like a few thousand. So we're going to keep working on it and see what we can do.
I know that, this week there was also a focus on Tuesday. Some of the first responders were getting their second dose. Seniors came in primarily on Wednesday, and I think that's going to be the case next week. It'll be primarily Wednesday, still for those seniors 75 and up. But there's also been some news of some other sites across the city opening. I hear that possibly another CVS and also, I believe, Stop and Shop as well. Do you know?
I don't know Stop and Shop. I know the CVS on Pleasant Street is going to open. Mass site's going to be the old Circuit City building in Dartmouth. That's going to open. They'll start taking appointments on February 18th from what I was told. So that should pop onto the state website. And again, we're doing what we can. Today, for example, we have Our Lady of Light has a open clinic over there for housing authority residents 75 and up, and have an appointment. And I left there a little while ago, and that was going extremely well. So things are moving. It's just the vaccine shortage that's not helping us a bit. And again, we're pushing very hard to get that done.
Yeah, and that the Our Lady of Light facility is being supported by Health First Family Care Center, which is literally right across the street.
Right,
So,
we have Health First, and we have
Yep.
Health First in there. EMS is also helping them, and of course the Housing Authority partnering with them. And when I left there was maybe 4 or 5 people in line, but they broke them up in groups all day. I think there's going to be about 200 people vaccinated there today, so that's a good thing.
Are there plans when we get to the next phases in terms of step 2, when the 65 and over, that this partnership may be able to continue in terms of the Housing Authority working with, collaborators like Health First?
Obviously it's all contingent on vaccines. We can do anything we want. It was funny because people saying, put up a phone bank, get rides going, get this, and we have adjusted on the fly, and we're ready to do whatever we can to help the residents in Fall River. But it's all contingent on having somewhere to take them that'll give them a vaccine. I can't put all these plans in place that are going to do nothing unless we get some vaccines.
Yeah. And I think things will start to open up. We're seeing it now that, there's more locations in Fall River. And I guess when we get to the point when the general public is allowed to be vaccinated, hopefully there'll be so many sites that people hopefully will be able to maybe even walk in. We don't want to say that yet, obviously. Still need to make an appointment, but that's something we can look forward to, I guess, moving on.
I hope so.
Yeah. In terms of the pandemic, focus is definitely on the vaccine, getting people in there, getting them safe, getting them inoculated. And, we spent, and we were talking about this on a weekly basis in terms of the number of cases in Fall River. And even though it's important to keep track of that, your administration, you last week announced that in terms of submitting numbers, you're only going to submit numbers once a week on a Thursday. I know that for some, including myself, getting the numbers on a daily basis seemed to be exhausting and even disappointing at times. And again, not to lighten, the severity of the importance of how many people are still getting infected, but it's a way to shift the focus, I guess.
Right. What we did was we kind of piggybacked on what the state was doing with their weekly city and town reports on the totals. So, we did it. I started that, Keith. I thought we'd be doing it for 3 weeks a month, and it would kind of fade away, but that was just a dream. And we ended up doing that daily every day for about a year, and that's chasing numbers and doing this. So, again, we don't mind updating people once a week like the state's doing, and we'll be fine. It's just it was just getting a little dreary.
Yeah. It looks like things have settled down on that front, however, as the number of infections across the Commonwealth appear to be coming down. I think people are heeding the advice. We got through the surge of the holidays. From what you're hearing, is that going to be the same this week when the numbers come out in Fall River?
I'm not quite sure. The numbers have been pretty consistently down in Fall River recently, but I don't trust this virus. Any day it could shoot back up.
Yeah. All right. I want to shift gears a little bit. I'm also in the news this week, and we've talked about this issue on a number of occasions. Another potential candidate for city administrator you had shown interest in and actually provided an offer to, and that individual, like the first one back later in 2020, decided to take his name off from consideration. One, how frustrating is that? And give us a little background on what happened with this individual.
Well, it is, of course, it's frustrating when you want someone to come in, help the city. It just didn't work out. So he changed his mind. We had a discussion the day before. We seemed to come to an agreement on salary. He had a very strong resume. He had met with all the counselors. We had checked all his references, did a background check, and he was fine. But he just changed his mind. He wasn't ready to move this way, so he told us he has a house in Plymouth, but he just wasn't ready to come to Fall River, so he withdrew.
And I guess what are the plans moving forward? Back to the resume list. I mean, are you continuing to publicize the job offering?
Yes, the job is still being advertised, so we'll see. I mean, I have a couple of resumes I'm looking at that were in the initial pile, but we're going to catch our breath before we go back to that.
All right. On the school front, this week, school children went back to classes. The K through 5 students in cohort C, as part of the city's hybrid model of teaching and learning. Did you have an opportunity to see any of those students this week? Obviously, Monday was a snow day with the weather. Have you heard how that has gone out as some students are getting back to the classroom?
I heard, from what I heard, the children were very happy to be back. I think the first day back, we had almost 100% attendance with that cohort. So that's a great number. People, by and large, want the students back in school. They want them back in school safely. That would be our goal. Like I said, I would like to see something done on the vaccine front for educators. Have an educator day and vaccinate everybody at Bristol Community College or any one of our schools, that we can make it convenient, and then we can get back to the business at hand. I just think we want the kids in school. I don't like what's going on across the country with this, so we'll say a prayer and hope it happens quickly.
All right. I do need to ask you about something that was sort of out of the ordinary from the school committee meeting this week. Normally, the school committee will meet in an open session, and then there are opportunities for the committee to meet in executive session on personnel issues, collective bargaining issues, and the like. This last Monday, there was a vote not to go into executive session. There seemed to be a lot of confusion. You voted to go into executive session as one of the 3 votes. Can you fill us in on what may have happened there?
Some people did not want to go into executive session because they did not. I don't think they felt comfortable with what was going to be discussed in executive session, or they were worried that what happens in executive session doesn't stay confidential. That was the gist of what I got talking to people afterwards. I disagreed because we had an agreement with our teachers union that was going to lead to some improved teaching during the pandemic. I thought that was important. I thought there was a couple other things, nuts and bolts type things that we were trying to straighten out with some of our unions that I thought were important. I thought, actually, I think everything on the agenda is important, but people wanted to go in a different direction. And again, having never chaired a meeting where people refused to go into executive session, I was a little bit caught off guard, but I've met with a couple of them since, and going forward, I'm sure we can work things out.
Now, how will this impact things moving forward? I mean, some of these issues obviously don't want to be brought up during open session. So, I mean, is there going to be any conversations in terms of the next meeting possibly addressing some of these issues in executive session? As you said,
no, they're going to come right back. It's we have a meeting, I think, I think it's like February 23rd on the finance committee, which now is a committee of the whole for us also. So we'll do that, and then hopefully we'll be able to put an agenda together to address some of these concerns so that we can hopefully get kids back in school and get our teachers the conditions they need to work under for the rest of the year, and a small raise.
All right. All right, Mayor, as always, thank you for joining me. Have a great week and weekend, and we'll talk next Thursday. Take care.
Appreciate it, Keith. Thanks.